So welcome to all of you to this workshop. This is created by Tech Founder Pro, which is a community that I built, and our goal is really about empowering people with technical and business skills that could help them earn more income outside of education, out of corporate America. So that's what my goal is for this workshop. If I help even one person just gain, some insights about how to use these tools, then my goal is accomplished. So what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to be going through some of these slides. All of my workshops are interactive. I meant monetize. I don't. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, what I'm going to be focused on is just let's focus on really how we monetize and how we build products, and using AI. All right. So let's go ahead and start here. And it looks like somebody else wanted to join. One moment here. Did that work? Looks like somebody was trying to join. One moment here. Well, anyways, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. A little bit about me. I have a bit of an untraditional background in technology. So I studied art and psychology when I was in college. I was not studying computer science, so I'm truly an outsider. And then from there, I tried it out and I fell in love with it right away. So since then, I've been a software engineer / AI engineer for more than 10 years. I was on ChatGPT the first week that it came out. And I literally remember when I saw that it knows how to code, I called my brother right away and I said, pretty much that the world has changed because of this new tool. At that time, there was still this huge grift about, AI is not going to take people's jobs, that somebody that does use AI is going to take other people's jobs. But now it is abundantly clear that AI is, like a tsunami that is hitting the white collar job market and also soon to be even the blue collar job market. So since then, it's been my focus to help empower people with, technical skills and business skills so that we can all just, be able to thrive without the need for corporate jobs. All right. Some other things about me. I volunteered with Microsoft Teals. I've trained a lot of people that have gotten full-time jobs as software engineers. I have been a area director for Toastmasters, and I also have a twin brother that is a technical trainer as well. He also teaches AI for a very large organization. So the way that I host my workshops, they are quite unique. There are different teaching methods. When I decided to dive into education, I started to learn about the different ways that people learn. So I like to highlight these so that when you're going through this workshop, you will know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and also what you should be doing as well. So one of the ways that people learn is auditory. So if you hear me emphasize anything, then that is a strategy that lets you know you should write this down. All right. So there's 3 forms of emphasis. One is by saying something loudly. If I say something loud, then that means it's probably something that you want to write down. Another strategy is if I say something slowly, then that's another indicator that is probably something you want to write down. And then the other one is just repetition. If I repeat something, if I say like there are custom GPTs, these are things that you'd want to know about. then that would make you know that, you'd want to know how to, you'd want to keep that in mind. You'd want to do a little bit of research about what these are. Okay. All right. Now from there is a visual, people that are visual learners. In some of our more technical workshops, we have, pictures of code, and that's able to guide people on how they are able to, you know, um, uh, do what they need to do what they're supposed to be doing. And then they have forward engineering and reverse engineering. These are very important ways of learning. Forward engineering is pretty much like if you've ever purchased some furniture from IKEA. Well, you may not have ever made a sofa before, but just by following along, you are able to get the results that it says. And it's just like, using a tutorial. So this is very important when you're going on the journey of a technical, but even in a business situation. A lot of people make the mistake because they don't understand that we'll get into business planning later on, but it's all about following instructions. And then we have reverse engineering. One of the core ways to learn programming is by just diving into things, being able to make tweaks. So when you're able to get a understanding of the large picture, and then from there you start making changes, that is going to be able to empower you to understand how everything works. All right. It's a little bit of an outline, but for me, what I really like to do is I like to dive straight into the meat and bones of everything. Okay. So there is this common term that people have heard from different wealthy people, billionaires, that say, what is learning AI? Or what they'll say is, you need to learn AI. Learn AI. You'll hear educators say you need to learn AI. So my question to y'all, and I'd love to get your answers, is what is learning AI? What does learning AI mean to you? So, and that's not rhetorical. You can jot your answer either in the chat, or if you like, you can unmute yourself, and then I'd love to hear what your answer is.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So we had one answer from Chris. Chris says, as far as things like ChatGPT, I think it means writing good prompts. Okay. All right. So using the tools that are already created and becoming good with them. So that, like, writing good prompts. Okay. And then Kimmy says being fluent in AI prompt writing. So, okay. So a lot of people, when you think learning AI, you think being a good prompt writer. All right. It looked like there were some other things that people were going to say. Feel free to unmute yourself, and I'd love to hear your answer.
Psychology, business psychology, for me at least.
Interesting. So learning AI is the psychology of the AI. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say psychology, and then also just trying to comprehend how it works, so understanding how the brain works, and so I think there's a lot behind it.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, a large part of it, I think the psychology part has to do with prompt writing as well, because when we're giving a prompt, you're it's almost like you're trying to give a command to another person, right? So all of that has to do with how do you communicate in the right way, and psychology definitely plays a huge part in that, because then from there you're able to understand, even though this other form of intelligence is artificial and it's not human, you're able to assume why it might make mistakes here and there if it doesn't give you exactly what you asked for, right? So anybody else want to chime in? All right. Well, these are some, it's kind of interesting because a lot of the answers here are, all from one angle, one view of learning AI. The reality is that there are three dimensions of learning AI, And which is why whenever I hear people say it's important to just learn AI, it's almost cringe to me. To me that is it's almost just a sign that they are disengaged and that they're probably just building their wealth through like ventures and through the stock market perhaps. But there's three different parts of it. One is going to be building the models. So learning AI, and when you're building the models, that means that you're deeply into the technical realm. That involves just understanding the way that data science works, the way that's all of the data is put together, and then from there that it's able to, gain insights into what is ideal for the responses to be for any of the questions that people may ask, and then from there, turning those into products for, organizations. So that's what building the models is. And then from there, there's integrating AI into products. So, that's what a lot of people have been making a lot of their profits from. When you hear people say that they are going to small businesses and from there or large organizations and going, how can we install AI into your operation so that your operation can run more lean and you'll be able to save money, which in some cases, or maybe in most cases, reduces the number of jobs that's needed, but it is able to generate income for people that are experts at this as well. The other one is what most of you mentioned, which is using AI tools effectively. And that is essentially, learning how to do prompt writing is one example of using the AI tools effectively. There's so many different AI tools, of course. So it's just understanding how to use the things that were already made and what is relevant to you. So that is these are the three dimensions of learning AI. I would slow down to ask this question and hear, the different answers. But at this point, it's just so abundantly clear why it's important for people to learn AI. There are the job market, as I mentioned, this is all that I predicted years ago. And what has been happening is literally it's the worst case scenario. But it doesn't mean that there is hope, because what is going to be able to happen is that as people realize how to use this, then from there, we're going to be building a new paradigm of society. And that's a large part of what we're focused on. The next valuable question that I'd like to pose is, what is a business plan? Now, you guys, this is all important. We're going to be diving into how to use AI. We're going to be using ChatGPT here. But I just want to set the stage for us to understand, these things so that you understand what you can be doing and also what is going to be done as well. So one question that's very important for us to understand is, what is a business plan? Can we get some insights into what some of you think? And you could jot it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself.
Basically having a plan just to start a business.
Okay. Yep. Sounds evident. So yeah, the word plan. So, and then, so there's the answer. Chris says, the business plan consists of more than just how you make money, but how you are going to scale, how you are going to interact with customers. Yes. Structured and strategized concepts. Absolutely. So the key word that has been used so far is still the word plan. All right. Now, what and I welcome more answers, but just to kind of facilitate the rest of this, the word plan is interesting, because even though we hear the word plan is very familiar to most people, but how often do people truly plan? I mean, how often do people truly do it? People sometimes create, schedules for themselves. It's uncommon that they follow these schedules. So these are kind of the reasons why a business plan has to be clarified as to what it truly really is and the value of it in order for it to be something of value. All right. So let's get one more answer. Kind of curious about if we get anything different from the first two, because the first two were kind of identical. A plan about how to create a business, and then a lot of people consider the way to make money and how to scale it. But I'd like to see if there's anybody else that has like a slightly different take on it. All right. Well, in this case, we'll go ahead and one of the key word that you should think when you think of the word business plan is actually formula. And the reason this is a very big distinction, because when you think of a scientific formula, you know that when you mix these different things, you're going to get this result every single time. And this is the way that a business plan is geared to become. And the issue here is when you have a business plan, and it means two things. It means that one thing, it means that either the people that are in the business did not follow the plan, or it means that there are tweaks that they need to make to the hypothesis that is in the plan. But the issue is that most people, when they're trying to create a business, they're trying to earn some more money. They go, all right, I have this idea. Next thing they're going to do is they're going to say, all right, well, I'm going to create a social media page. I'm going to start posting on social media. I'm going to start doing this, and I'm going to create an LLC. And none of this stuff is directly related to your business plan. Your business plan is your strategy for product to consumer. Product to customer or product to consumer. But there's a number of different facets of it. But in essence, it's going to become at its best. It's almost like a slot machine that you've completely figured out. You put in money here, and then more. You put in either money or energy here, and then from there, the result that you want comes out right away. So this is just it's a subtle thing. This might seem like it's like theory, but it's a subtle thing that when you realize it, it will save you a lot of time in terms of being able to start a successful business. Is that your goal is to find out what is it that I am putting in my money or my energy in, and when I do this, in return, I know that I'm going to get this after a certain amount of time. All right. So next, what we're going to be doing is, and this was a really important saying. Sometimes I'm curious, has anybody heard of Naval? Does anybody know who Naval is?
No.
Okay. So he's a investor / philosopher, but he has this saying that there are 7 billion people in the world, and hopefully there will be 7 billion businesses as well. So with that, the concept is that we are, as a whole society, we are stepping into a new paradigm of earning, and that is going to be where people all own and run their own businesses, and they create their own products, right? So what we're going to be doing during this workshop, we're going to dive into using ChatGPT into creating a valuable product that also has a clear roadmap for monetization for anybody. As I mentioned, one of the one of the roadmaps for monetizing with AI is through product creation. And this is what we're going to go through, is just the ideation of a valuable product that, you know, fits in with somebody's desired interest, somebody's desired passion. All right. So one of the ways that we're going to do this is, can I get a volunteer?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, perfect. And what I'm going to also do here is I'm going to share the link for the AI custom GPT that we'll be using. And then that way everybody will be able to follow along as well. All right. So I just posted it in the chat. It's completely free to use, and you are going to be the only person that has access to, you know, anything that you write in it. So feel free to use it as much as you want, and be creative and have fun. All right. So so you should see now the GPT that we're going to be using. Is everybody familiar with what custom GPTs are as well? Or would you like for me to explain what they are?
Yes, explain.
Okay, so what a custom GPT is it's part of the ladder stack of continuously agentic AI. So most people have used you know, Chat GPT or maybe even Claude as an LLM, where you ask it to do something that you want, and then from there it does it, right? Like, write me a LinkedIn post, right? And then from there it does that for you. The goal of AI for most organizations, for most, the theory is that AI is going to continuously be more and more agentic. What does that mean? It means that you will have more manifestation ability with less effort. So if I say I want to create a successful business that makes me $10,000 per month, right now there's a number of different steps that it will take, but the vision of agentic AI is that it will do everything that you want it to do with less effort. So a custom GPT is part of that stack, that ladder stack, getting towards more agency of an AI. The reason why a custom GPT is valuable is because it means that you have less repetition. You don't need to rewrite your prompt that you would typically write in. You're going to be able to just have it already know what you are trying to do, and all you're going to do is just pass in in technical terms we call these a parameter, but you're going to just pass in the different instance of what of what it's trying to do. So let's say, for example, if you have a secretary, and your secretary always, whenever you give the secretary, you know, a stack of papers, your secretary knows that they're going to be faxing it, or they're going to, you know, need to scan it. So your custom GPT is the same way, where it already knows what you're trying to do with it. All you need to do is just pass it in this terms, in this metaphor, you know, the different stack of papers. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So, and then from there, they have the, you know, on that ladder map of moving towards more and more agentic of AI, the next one is actually what we call the context projects. All right. So you can create projects that are, you know, for anything that you're trying to accomplish. The difference between a project and a custom GPT is that where custom GPTs are for singular tasks, your context projects are pretty much like having a more well-rounded assistant. So what you are installing in your project is the purpose of what you're trying to do, and also the frame of mind of what the objective is. So your projects is more like creating an employee that does more than one thing, while your custom GPT is essentially just like, a single task, AI performer. Now, the one level above this is where we use the actual browser agents. So some people are not familiar with the browser agents, but let's say when you are using ChatGPT, and many people are not familiar with this, they don't know that you can actually go ahead and put ChatGPT on a full-on mission to do something that you want it to do. And and this is particularly right now only on their web version, where it's able to do a lot of this. But this is something that can be done as well. So this is all. So you could really ask ChatGPT to go online, look up all of the top stories in your field of interest, and then from there to create a Word document that has insights into it and save it, and then give you the Word document, or even to give you a PowerPoint slide, and it can do that. So that is, what we're talking about as it becoming more and more agentic in its capabilities. Soon enough, when people say that they want to create a business, then from there, it's going to be a situation where it full on, goes in, goes and registers the business for you, if need be. There's another paradigm where all of that stuff is not needed, but just theoretically, and then from there, does your regular posting on social media. So this is, kind of what the vision for AI agency is. Does anybody have any questions about what I was talking about? All right. So we're going to go into the custom GPTs that I was referring to. Have my own GPTs. And the one that we are using is going to be which one is it? Tech startup ideation one. And what we're able to do is we are able to the way to use this is we start off by just saying hi. All right. And was it you, Destiny, that I've been talking with?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do is just let me know, like, what is something that you're passionate about? Because one of the core things about going on this journey is that, what you're building is a vision for something that you are passionate about. So do you have an interest in particular?
Mental health.
All right. And what else aside from mental health?
Emotional health and physical health.
All right. So just wellness
Yes.
in general.
Yes.
Do you have any like niches or anything like outside of like mental wellness? Because one of the things that we find is that it's the combination of different interests that brings about something that's very valuable. So aside from this, because in a lot of cases also people are thinking inside of the box, but these exercises are most valuable when you're thinking outside the box. And one way of doing that is by combining two different ideas. So aside from mental wellness, what's a hobby that you may have?
I have a lot, but because I like to work with my hands a lot. I like making DIY products.
Okay, cool. All right, so mental wellness plus DIY. All right. So what we're doing here is, and this used to be a sequence of prompts So speaking of the prompt engineering that we were talking about before, when we used to do this workshop initially, it started off as just going, one prompt after another prompt. Then from there, we had the vision of, what if we just turned it into a custom GPT? And since then, these have gotten, continuously better and better, where we have, amazing results for each and every one of these. So the first thing that we're doing is we are coming up with a concept for the vision of a product. All right. This one, and so the way that we do this, we have a finely curated prompt, and then from there we are, going along. So our first thing that we're doing is the idea and name generation. So here, so it says over here, mental wellness DIY opens up opportunities that go beyond meditation apps by helping people improve their mental health through creating, fixing, building, and expressing themselves. So here's a list of different ones that are interesting. One is called MindMade, and these are all new products. These are, these are not things that already exist. It's just saying that these are ideas for something that can be created. So the concept is, this one says personalized DIY projects based on your mood, anxiety, stress, burnout, loneliness, uses making things as a therapeutic intervention. That's kind of cool. Calm craft, guided woodworking crafts, gardening, and home projects designed by therapists and makers. All right. Build better, complete one small DIY project each day to reduce stress and build confidence. Focuses on momentum and accomplishments. Nice. Mood Maker AI recommends creative projects based on your emotional state and available time. Cool. Personalized mental wellness instead of generic meditations. The Repair Club, a social community where people repair household items together while supporting each other's mental health. Combats loneliness through shared activities. Reset Workshop, a digital workshop with guided hand-on activities like organizing, painting, and turns every day into tasks, into intentional wellness practices. And then Craft Flow, an AI coach that helps users enter a flow state through DIY challenges tailored to their skill level, gamifies creative focus and mindfulness. That's cool. And then Tiny Wins, 10 to 30-minute DIY projects that help users build confidence through quick, achievable successes. Ideal for busy people or those struggling with motivations. These are all kind of cool. What do you think? Do you have any of these that are compelling to you?
The first one, I like
the MindMade, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. Well, it looks like that one was the AI's favorite as well. So we're going to continue along with that one. So MindMade helps people improve their mental well-being through personalized hands-on projects. Instead of only talking about stress or anxiety, users actively build, create, repair, or organize something that improves both their environment and their mindset. I love this. So the next thing is what we call a USP. So whenever somebody is creating a product, and I just want to highlight all of the stuff that we're doing right now, all of this stuff used to take such a long time to do. But now with the use of this custom GPT, it streamlines everything into, 30 or 40 minutes. So what we're going to do here is just take a look at what the next thing is. So after we have identified the idea and the name, the next thing that we do is define our USP. And this is an important part of any business, is just identifying what makes it unique. Why does it deserve to exist? And what's going to make it, better than its competitors? So USP is an important term for you to consider. As I told you in the beginning of the workshop, if I repeat something, trust me, you want to know what that is. And USP is one of them. So, and just to repeat, unique USP is unique selling point or unique selling proposition. All right. So in this case, the USP that it is, considering is that most mental wellness apps focus on, meditation or journaling or breathing exercises, therapy sessions, but Mind Made focuses on action. Transform your mental health by making something real. This is actually something that anybody that has, you know, most people that have gone on a healing journey, they know that building something is something that builds up a lot of confidence, and most people never build things. So having a ritual and a regular practice of building something is going to be very, very beneficial for people's mental health. So transform your mental health by making something real is this is the slogan. So this is rooted in the idea that purposeful activity can foster accomplishment, focus, and emotional regulation. While it isn't a replacement for professional mental health care, it can complement other wellness practices. So, Destiny, does that resonate with you? Is there anything that you would like to change about that?
Maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because my vocabulary isn't that great, so I would probably make it a little bit more to where some people can understand it.
Sure. What part of it? What part of it is a little bit abstract?
Oh wait, never mind. Never mind. No, that's good. I had to reread it over again.
Yeah, sure thing. So and you'll receive all of this, so you'll be able to, make any changes that you would like to it. But this is also this is also a process that every single person can be doing, alongside. That's the reason why I shared the link as well. So you're not just watching me do it, you're doing it as well yourself. So next, after the USP, we'll go ahead and see what the next thing is that we consider. So who are my customers is the next thing that we consider. So biggest struggle to solve, this becomes a core mission. What's the biggest struggle you want to solve? People feel overwhelmed, but don't know where to start. People spend hours doom scrolling instead of creating. Anxiety leaves people feeling stuck and inactive. Burnout makes everyday tasks feel impossible. Loneliness reduces motivation and joy. People lack a sense of accomplishment in daily life. So a focused version could be help people break out of stress and overwhelm by guiding them into meaningful hands-on activities that create visible progress. So this part is also really valuable because it helps you with your market communication. So the way that you communicate to the people that feel the pain point that you are providing a solution to. So that is the way that you market. One of the strategies for marketing is that you communicate the pain point that the people that you are serving are feeling. All right.
Mine is the most that stands out to me is the anxiety.
Okay. And let's say, for example, well, there's a couple of different routes to go about it. But yeah, anxiety is definitely, it's included in here. Anxiety leaves people feeling stuck and inactive, right? Is that true?
Yes, for me it is. I know for a lot of others.
Yeah. I don't have anxiety. I think at points in my life I used to, but the overcoming of it has come through action, and that's part of the reason why I feel like learning software engineering it saved my life in a distinct way, because when people don't have when people have a high powered mind, but they don't have anything to focus it on, then what it does is that it focuses on itself and scrutinizes itself. So, and that's not productive. So our minds are created to be focused on things, but when there isn't, because of, the modern society that we live in, so much of the things that, people 40 years ago, 50 years ago needed to worry about, they're no longer really things that are, survival is already, eh, pretty stable in some ways. While society as a whole is definitely not stable, but when people are hungry, they can go to a grocery store. They don't got to worry about farming, and they don't have to worry about tilling their land. So for that reason, it's this drastic amount of mental capacity that is not being utilized that is leading, that in some cases can cause anxiety. And in a situation where people have some sort of daily practice or some sort of tool that coaches them towards building something or doing things of value with their hands that are tangible, then that can potentially reduce this sensation of anxiety, right? So the next thing we have over here is a target community. Do you have any target communities that is it people recovering from anxiety or depression, or, perhaps it's veterans or, college students? Is there any target community for you?
Just people that are working on trying to get out of that, of being anxious. I don't have a set audience yet, but women that feel stuck, want to get out.
Okay. All right. So are you saying that you would want it to be particularly more leaning towards for women?
Yes.
Okay. So this would be a adjustment. We want to lean toward target community for women. All right. So as the refined vision is helping women reduce stress, rediscover themselves, and build confidence through simple, meaningful DIY experiences. And then from there, you have more of a tailored, community, women from, let's just say 25 to 45, balancing careers, relationships, and family, who are experiencing stress or burnout, or mothers seeking intentional self-care beyond spa days and bubble baths, women rebuilding confidence after a major life transition. So yeah, there's a lot of different routes to go. Did you want to go with the first one, which is more general, or was there one of them that in particular, creative women who lost touch with their hobbies, or women rebuilding confidence after a major life transition? Do any of these resonate more?
Number 3.
Okay. All right. We'll go with option 3. All right. So what we're doing is we're refining the product. So helping women rediscover themselves after life's biggest transitions through creative, intentional DIY experiences that restore confidence, calm, and purpose. So we can see here women aged, it's refining that target audience, women aged 30 to 55, who are navigating a significant life transition such as divorce or separation, relocations, all of this, all of these things. And then emotional positioning, you're not selling DIY projects, you're helping women answer questions like, who am I now? How do I start over? So what we're doing right now is we're just going through the process of refining the target community, which also refines the product. But as we can see here, we're able to use this to create something that can be of a lot of value. And we're only, we're about halfway into this, but now we're drilling more and more into the product and also the transformation. So the product concept is, rather than simply recommend projects, the app offers guided journeys that align with different stages of a transition. So healing home, create a calming reading nook, rediscover me, make a vision board, fresh start, declutter one area each week, finding joy again, candle making, watercolor painting. All right. So we've done the who are my customers section, and now we're getting more into the product nature. All right. And like I said, all of this used to take a very, very, very long time for people to do. So we are now at the stage of the product concept. We've already kind of read through this. And then we have our success metrics. Beyond engagement, measure outcomes that reflect your mission. Users complete one project each week. Users report increased confidence after finishing projects. Users maintain a weekly creative habit over several months. Users share photos and stories of their progress. Users invite friends or participate in community challenges. So yeah, there is, even also like a way of gamifying it further. So you're building more of a community as well. So it's talking about the brand. So when you get into the part of, social media and just your digital, I don't call it social media at this point. It's really called brand. It really should be called branding media. So when you start to, share on different digital platforms, what you're about, this is the way that it should feel for people. So it's already providing this for you so that you don't have to, necessarily start thinking about all of this yourself. So these are kind of all of the things that is asked for so far. So next we're going to go into the functionality and screens list. So what it does is it asks you at the end of what it has outputted, it asks you, whether you like it or whether you want to, change anything. So how is it sounding so far for you?
Pretty simple, and a lot of options. Like you said, later I would probably change it, but
and in the meantime, are there things that you would like to change now? Like anything that comes to your mind?
I would change more specifically, not because I'm not a mom, I don't have kids, so more specifically for single women that are in a that are just in a relationship.
All right.
Not married.
Okay. So when people are niching down, you can possibly niche a little bit too much. So you do want to have it where people that are dealing with all different kinds of situations can all come together. So there is a possibility where you can niche too much, but that's all a personal decision for sure. Your product doesn't need to fit exactly what your life is personally, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I said, you'll be able to I'll send you all of this and you'll be able to tweak it any way that you want and carry it the way that you would love to. But here now what we have is we have a lot of the outline for what the vision for the product is already. And then from there, we can go into functionality and screen list. So let's see.
So this is if I didn't change anything, you're showing what the next steps are. If I
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just this is going through step by step through what can be understood on an abstract level as the manifestation process of this product. So we started off with, you know, the abstracts of an idea, and we're getting, these are all of the most important questions to ask that lead to you having something tangible for yourself. And then we haven't gotten to the finances part, but it's all going towards your personal strategy for you to monetize on your passion, your skills, your vision.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, but because of the simplicity, why not? We can actually even add that contingency of it being for single women. Would you like for me to add that for you?
Yes, please.
All right, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and refine it. We want target single women. What else about the single women? Anything else?
That feel stuck and want to live a better life.
All right. The AI likes the refinement. All right. So single women. So we have this is about identity transformation, not just DIY. All right. So instead of saying, we teach DIY projects, is we help women stop waiting for a better life and start creating one small project, one you habit, and one meaningful moment at a time. Does that sound sound good?
Yes.
Okay, great. So emotional transformation: before, feels stuck, lonely at times, low confidence, watches others living the life she wants, doom scrolls for inspiration, doesn't know where to begin. After, confident, creative, proud of herself, has healthy routines, lives intentionally, believes she's building a life she loves. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Of the transformation? Right on. So think of the app as more than a DIY platform. This is a personal growth companion. Today's mission: do one thing your future self will thank you for. The app might then recommend refresh a neglected corner of your home, create a vision board for your next chapter, build a cozy reading nook. So all of these different things. And then the brand positioning: you're not selling crafts, you're selling the woman someone becomes through creating. A simple positioning statement: helping single women create a life they love through creativity, intentional living, and small acts of transformation. The USP, so this is important. What you're telling people is the USP is what you tell somebody when you meet them in a networking situation. You go, this is the first creative wellness app designed for single women who feel stuck, and it combines DIY projects, mindful rituals, and guided personal growth to help them build confidence and create a life they're excited to live. So that's the way you communicate what you are building. And then, you have, possible taglines: build your home, build yourself. Your next chapter starts with one small step. Become the woman you're meant to be. Create with purpose, live with intention. So these are all different, taglines, but this is just a refining of the product vision. Does this all sound, like it aligns with what you like for it to?
Yes, exactly.
All right, that's great. That's what I like to hear. All right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go into the, the functionality and screens list, so that this brings about clarity about what it is that's being built. So you have the functionality, one of them is your daily check-in. How are you feeling? How much energy do you have? How much time do you have? What do you need most today? personalized growth paths, become more confident, build better habits, create a peaceful home, romanticize your life, rediscover your creativity. So all of these are different paths for growth. DIY projects organized by, time required, budget, build a reading corner, a gallery wall, candle making, vision board, self-care basket, and then AI life coach, a conversational AI that helps users brainstorm ideas, stay motivated, break goals into manageable steps, reflect on progress, recommend projects based on current challenges. So that means that the person will be able to go, I'm feeling lonely this weekend. The AI might suggest, host a solo brunch with intention, visit a local craft market, start a watercolor project, journal about what energizes you. So these are some of the functionality that it's, envisioning. Does this, sound like it would be valuable?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Yeah. So all of these, they sound like it's a, they sound like it has a lot of value. It's very clear, and it, definitely makes a lot of sense. So yeah, this is just highlighting all of the functionality. And then idea validation is another step. So idea validation. So one of the ways of doing this is by talking to women. So, just by talking to people, you'll be able to understand, what the different pain points. This is also a huge strategy for anybody that's trying to build a community and audience, is by having conversations and posting, clips of it online. It's one of the pretty much the biggest hacks for building an audience, because naturally there's just intrigue about how the communication goes. So this is one thing that is great advice. And then from there, building a landing page, and then, testing the idea on social media. These type of things are things that there's a huge audience for such. Going on podcasts, these are all different ways to, grow your movement. So the next thing that we are going to highlight is going into the business of it. So now it talks about, what the way that it will be able to become a successful product. So it's mentioning that there is, free version. So, and then from there, you'll have a premium version, for $15 to, $20 a month, once people realize that they love it and that it's part of their life now. Things like journaling, AI, assistants, vision board kits, and also it could be something that combines with community, where there's other people that you're able to form partnerships, and that can also be particularly, lucrative as well. As I mentioned in the beginning, we also have the marketing strategy already, but it's also going into the financial goals. So if your goal, it's saying right here, if your goal is $100,000 in MRR, let's just say, let's start off with 10K MRR is first goal. So as it's describing here, all you would need to do is get 527 subscribers in this whole wild world of, people that are, dealing with different problems that, believe in the product and are trying it out and love it. At approximately, that's approximately $20 a month. And then from there, they have different, price points, whether it's at $20 a month or $15 a month, it'd be slightly more. But even at like significantly less than 1,000 subscribers, you will be netting in $10,000 a month through this product vision. You're selling an ongoing transformation, community, and accountability, not just access to content. So yeah, that's a large part of it, is that the vision for something like this is that you are building a product, but also community where people are talking about the things that they're going through and are being supported. And yeah, that's the some of the finances of it. This is a roadmap for it, validating for a couple of months, building up an email list perhaps. And then from there, nowadays with AI, we're able to create the products that are of value as well. And then from there, you have your own, product market fit. So, this is a strategy for being able to get to these goals. Now, within the past, hour or so, we went from, having a vague idea of just knowing that mental wellness wasn't important to you, to now coming up with an idea, then from there clarifying that idea, then from there, highlighting the USPs, having a distribution strategy, validation strategy, and financial, goals for this vision. So what I like to highlight is that while this stuff was done really fast, all of this stuff that we've done right now used to take so much time. But there's a lot of effort that was put into the creation of this tool. And this is part of why it appears like it's easy, but what we just did was actually something that is very quite complex, but also very, 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 very valuable for most people. What do you think so far? What do you think so far about what you've been going through so far?
That is a lot more clarification, because I have been trying to use ChatGPT to answer the right questions. I guess I wasn't answering the right questions. This was perfect.
Right. And that's exactly what it is that most people that are trying to create a business, they're not even asking the right questions. What we did here is we have a list of the most important questions. And then from there, we put them in the most important order. And from there, we ask the AI to consider all of the most important things in the creation of, what this is. So, with that being said, thank you for volunteering. That involves, some vulnerability. So that's great on you. You're already becoming, less of an anxious person, right?
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, this kind of rounds up what the goal is for our workshop. The tool that I shared, everybody is free to continue to use that as much as you want. I'll send you the link for this chat directly, Destiny.
Okay.
Everybody is free to connect with me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. I'll show you a few other things as well. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to.
Where are you at, Nova? Where
am I located? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm located in Dallas.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I just posted my LinkedIn, so feel free to reach out to me. One thing I do want to highlight with y'all's permission is that I also do I aside from the free trainings that I do, I also have my own internal curriculum where this is just one piece of the puzzle for what we do. We help it so that people not just are able to create the business plan, but also able to build the products that they envision. So we've been getting amazing results. The people that have come through, like I said, I've trained more than 400 people that have gotten full-time jobs. But aside from that, there are still people that are getting new jobs in cutting edge fields. One of my trainees, he got a job in robotics engineering not too long. Well, it was a while ago, but it was very shortly. It was very shortly after he graduated from the training program. So we have a lot of different breakdowns of the ways to monetize on the skills that you learn with using AI. This is just one of them. So if this is a value for you, you can consider to join the community. We made it affordable for everybody. It's $97 a month to be able to join the community, where we have free work. We have not free workshops, of course, but we have weekly workshops twice a week, where you'll be able to it'll be one-on-ones, where you're able to ask any question about how to build the product, and you have all these lessons. So it's a tailored path for anybody that truly believes in the product vision, where we go on the journey of empowering you with all of the skills and information to build it, and support in order to build it. So I wanted to extend that to y'all as well. If there's any of you that's interested, feel free to let me know in the chat. You can stay here. Otherwise, thank y'all for joining me.
Do you have any examples in your portfolio just to brag about?
Yeah, I have plenty. Are you talking about products, or are you talking about testimonies?
Both sound cool. Yeah, one and
Yeah.
the same. If you got a testimony and a product aligned together.
Yeah, I do actually. And actually, that's a great reminder. I wanted to share with you all. This is a product that we have been going to market with. One moment here, I'm going to share. This is a new app that I personally built this myself, and it is a new paradigm of earning. So it's created to make it so that people can earn income doing whatever they love. So this is the web version of it. I'll be able to show you. You can log in. And the way that it works is it allows for people to list all of the different goals that they have, the projects that they have. It might be you want to build an app, or if you want to get in better shape, you can just add that to the list of things that are your goals. And then from there, you also are able to list the different needs that you have, whether that be, pet sitting, or, have some maintenance that needs to be done in your lawn. So you're able to list all of the different things that you need. And then from there, what it does is it automatically suggests people that have services that are able to help you. So this is a product. People are already using this and are already earning. It allows you to list all of the different services that you have. Nowadays, people have many different ways that they can help their fellow people that live in their community. We have a current paradigm right now that forces people into trying to fit themselves into one box. Tries to call themselves an engineer, or call themselves one thing or another. But the reality is that each person knows how to do a number of different things, because we live in that type of society. So this is the first of its kind platform that automatically connects different needs to people that are available as well, that are able to assist you and it's all inclusive booking platform. People are already earning. You're able to have a list of people that are of services that you're interested in, and also of leads, people that are interested in the services that you offer. Yep, and this is just one of the products that I've built, and I've built a lot throughout my career. I'm also on social media platforms where people get to see even more about what I do. So yes, I have a large history of doing this. And I also left my LinkedIn where you're able to, see even more.
Yeah. So the earnings with that, like how did you, after you built it yourself, right? So then
Yes, sir.
after that, how did you take it to market and then and start making money where,
Yeah. So, in the old paradigm of technology, people were just focused on users. Now it's a situation where people should be focused on building something that's of a lot of value and also has a stable revenue built into it. So in our platform, one of the things about it is that we get a cut off of every transaction, just like Fiverr, just like Upwork. The platform gets a the platform gets a facilitation fee.
right.
So we're generating cash flow through this, but then also aside from that, of course, by being able to offer the services, of course that's good cash flow there as well. I was able to make an extra, and it was an extra 200 this month from this platform, from people booking me for, somebody needed help with a graphic design, and I was able to help out with graphic design. This is just the beginning. We haven't even reached our potential in terms of users. Right now, we're still at around, we're still in the hundreds of users, but we're going to be doing more marketing. We realize that we have a stable product. Now we're going more into the marketing stage.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Certainly. Well, thank you thank you all for being here, and I hope this has been of value for you. And we host workshops every weekend, so look forward to seeing you all in the next ones as well. All right.
Do you also do like live events as well in Dallas? Because I'm like 2 hours away.
Yeah, good question. I do plan to. We're about to start doing them in person as well. So yeah, just connect with me on LinkedIn. I left my link in the chat, and I'll be letting people know when we start doing our live workshops as well.
Okay, awesome.
Hey Nova,
Yes.
where did you publish that to get some of your first customers, for instance?
Sometimes you never know, but I post, I do marketing on X. I do marketing on a lot of it is in person, people that I meet. For your first 10 users, it's all about not brute force, but it's emotionally compel. But then from there, it's just about repetition. And like I said, it's just like what you're trying to find the system, right? Where when I put in money here or effort here, then I'm able to get some users. So I there's some networking events that I go to on a regular basis because I know I might meet 5-10 people there that I can get on the platform. And when you compound that over, a span of, months, then from there, you're going to be able to get to 100. When you get to 100, then you can get to 1,000.
Yeah, that's good advice, Nova. Hey man, thanks for the meeting today. It was good. Thanks for your time. We'll talk to you again.
All right. Cheers. Have a good one.
Later on.